in today's video I just wanted to touch on the topic of high carb diets versus low carb diets. Before we get into the nitty gritty stuff, everyone, I want to just mention that there is a time, a place and a person for every single diet on this planet. What I hate seeing is trainers or coaches say that high carb diet is the only way to go. You've got to go slow and steady and preserve muscle and etc, and neglect the low carb diet and tell them that low carb diets are a lot of shit, they don't work, you know, you'll be hungry, you'll be this, you'll be that. And essentially I hate people who say that low carb diets are the only way to go, because like I said, there is a time, a place and a person for every single diet. Let me just touch on kind of certain people I would suggest take a high carb diet and certain people that I suggest a low carb diet would suit. As long as everything is functioning fine inside the body, for example your blood sugar levels are normal, all these different things, you don't have any diabetes, etc. If your goal is to help performance for important football games, whether it's fighting, whether it's weight training, a high carb diet would be ideal for you. Carbs are going to fuel your performance. Our body does not like to run off fat for energy, and where low carb diets would be good for a starting point for somebody is if you're obese, you have high blood sugar levels, if you have type 2 diabetes, where certain cancers have get better results from a low carb diet. But let me just make clear, you cannot live on a no carb diet. It's just not possible. Our body needs carbs for energy, it needs glucose for energy. When we reduce our carbohydrates, we reduce things in the body like leptin and melatonin, things that help with our appetite, our sleep, insulin drops, etc. So if you're like insulin sensitive or insulin resistant, I will also put you on a low carb diet. What I hate seeing is when somebody who is perfectly normal inside the body goes into the gym. Before they enter the gym, their diet was crap. It was just all processed food. When they go into the gym, they get put on what's called the low no carb diet. A no carb diet is below 40 grams, it's called ketosis, and the state of ketosis, and like a low carb diet is in and around 150 grams of carbs per day, right? When that person goes from a highly processed diet and into the gym and gets put on a low carb diet because the trainer or whoever was in there suggested that that's the only way to go, when they see results off a low carb diet, they think that the only thing that can get them results is the low carb diet, and that carbs are their enemy. So essentially that person is absolutely fine on the inside and can completely consume carbs and lose weight at the same time, but because they have seen results off a no carb diet, they tend to live like that for the rest of their life. And essentially what ends up happening is they get very run down, they get very sick, you know, they have a lot of kind of nutrient deficiencies. Like I said, your body stops producing insulin, and you know, insulin sensitivity rises, and all these kind of things that go on inside the body start happening, and we can't live like that. It doesn't create any sustainability. What I'm getting at is the reason why that person actually lost weight is because there is not many foods out there that are low carb and processed, if that makes sense to you, okay? If you cut out the carbs in your diet, you're literally stuck with meats, fish, vegetables, certain fruits, all depending on how much carbs you're taking in, nuts, dairy. So realistically, you're very restricted in what certain foods you can eat. You can't really go out and eat out. What is making you actually lose the weight? Your calories are under your TDEE, because you're restricting yourself from certain foods that are that have a high calorie content in them. That is it. That is the main reason you are losing weight. It's not because of the carbs. Like I said, as long as you're completely healthy on the inside, if you start introducing carbs slowly back into your diet, you will start increasing performance. What will an increased performance also help? Will also help improve your TDEE. It will make you expend more energy. It will help improve strength. It will, all these certain things. So it will actually build more muscle. So you'll actually get a greater benefit, that person would, from, you know, having a little bit more carbs around the workouts. They wouldn't be as less tired all the time. Back to the low carb diet. There is truly only one way to find out if you're going to get better results off a high carb diet or a low carb diet, and that is simply by testing it. If you take in 1500 calories and you have an even split, and let's say you maintain over the week, over a week's work, over a week's training routine, etc. Let's say the following week you decide, okay, you're going to take in 10% of your diet through carbs, you know, 50% protein and 40% fat, and let's say you drop a pound, maybe 2 pounds. Well, that is a test in itself. You have went out and physically tested some and seen that it works. Always remember, it comes down to your goal. It comes down to your fitness level. You know, if you train with a really high intensity, your body cannot function off, you know, 20, 30 grams of carbs a day. Let's say, for an example, you're an obese adult, okay? You're 5-6 stone overweight. Your intensity in workouts won't be very high. You may feel like you're training very hard and you're very out of breath. Intensity compared to someone who's 20 years old and 100 kg and built like a house, their intensity level is going to be completely different. But obviously they're both going to feel like they're training really, really hard. Nothing against the lower intensity level person. It's just the way it works. Someone with more muscle mass and, you know, a higher fitness level is going to be able to train at a much higher rate than someone with you know, that's a couple of stone overweight. Essentially, the person with a higher fitness level wants to retain as much muscle as they can. You know, so their body, you know, is probably 8-9% body fat. So essentially, when they're cutting weight, they haven't got a lot of fat to lose. So their body is thinking, right, our body is in a deficit. Right, we've very limited fat cells here, so what else has to go? So essentially, it's the brain starts telling the body, right, get rid of the muscle. We don't need that. We were fine before we had it, so let's, you know, get rid of the muscle. But implementing a higher carb diet, that's going to help someone who's at a higher fitness level. Now, essentially, someone who's 40-50% body fat doesn't need all that fat on their body. So when they take in a low carb diet or, you know, a high protein diet, their body isn't necessarily, you know, breaking down as much as the high athlete and repairing as much. It's essentially, it's just getting rid of the fat that's there, that's being stored over the years, over the months, however long you have gained weight. And essentially that person does not need as much fat on their body. It does not need as much energy because it's got it stored already. It's ready to release it. It doesn't need it to survive. It's actually gotten to the point where it could be dangerous health wise. So having a lower carb diet is actually better for that person. Place and a time and a person for both diets. It's just a matter of working out your goal, your training program. Are you okay functionally on the inside? Have you got any allergies? Have you got any imbalances, hormone imbalances? Are you sleeping right? Because if your performance is very low and, you know, you're taking in a high carb diet, you'd be like, oh, carbs don't give me any energy. But then you've got to look at your sleep. Are you sleeping 8 to 9 hours per night? Are you trying to work off 2 hours sleep per day? Are you eating carbs at the right time before your workouts? Or like, are you eating 3-4 hours before your workouts? Or are you eating 20 minutes before your workout? Because essentially you're going to get a greater benefit from eating 4 hours before your workout, a high carb meal, rather than 20 minutes. You're just going to feel bloated and, you know, heavy and slow and sluggish. That's why I always suggest, if someone trains early in the morning, I always suggest having your largest meal like the minute before you go to bed, because your body's gonna, you know, be breaking everything down, all the glucose, everything down inside the body while you're sleeping. And when you get up in the morning, first thing you do, train, your body has that high carb meal for energy. But yeah, I could talk all day about low carbs, high carb diets. Essentially, you've got to take into consideration your goal. If your goal is to deadlift 200 kilos, a low carb diet is not going to get you there. It may be fine to do, you know, maybe once or twice a week if you want to keep body composition low, but around your big lifts and around your big days in the gym, you know, you've got to be taking in carbs. As much as you think that when you eat carbs, it increases insulin, and, you know, if you don't work it off, it necessarily gets stored as fat. You know, that is not necessarily true. It all comes down to a weekly total. As long as your weekly total is the same and your body's fine on the inside, you'll be fine. Just don't think that you can live off a low carb diet, because you can't. You can't enjoy any social events, you can't go out, you can't have a night away, you can't eat out, you're very limited to what you can do, you're restricted, you're always telling yourself no, and that's just not a way to live your life. Now, I'm not saying go out and, you know, slower is better. Like I said, if you're an obese adult and you have 5 or 6 pounds to lose and you're, you know, it's affecting your health, you know, getting rid of that weight as quickly as you can is going to help your health. So necessarily a low carb and a low calorie diet is going to be more beneficial for that obese adult, regardless of what they think, because they are, you know, very unhealthy at the minute on the inside. They could have high cholesterol, etc. So, you know, you got to look at every kind of angle on this, everyone. You know, I could talk about this literally all day, everyone. Like, have any questions and you want to ask me something, you know, leave me a comment. My emails are down below. Make sure you like the video if you like the video. A lot of people tell me they watch my videos. If you watch my videos and you enjoy the content I put out, like, give it a like, let me know. It really helps the channel grow and it motivates me to put out more videos. And you know, there's times when in the back of my head I'm like, do people even watch my videos? And it makes me, you know, it's tough to get up the next day and say, do you know what, no, I'm going to keep going. I have a vision that I want to follow, and you know, I'm going to just keep going regardless if people watch them or not. If it helps one person, it helps one person. It could be in a year, it could be in 2, it could be in 10, as long as it helps somebody at one stage in their life. So yeah, make sure you like the videos if you watch them, if you know, if you're following what I'm trying to put out on my channel. And yeah, I'm just going to end on that note, everyone. So until the next one, if you have any actually ideas or any topics you would like me to talk about, you know, you can email me, you can leave a comment in the comment section. All my links and discount codes and website and everything will be down in the description box below, so if you're interested in any of them, you can go check them out down there. And yeah, I'm just going to end on that note, everyone. So until tomorrow or the next day, which I'll put up a video, I promise, stay safe, everyone, and enjoy.